Hi, junior black belts, teens, and adults. Really happy to be back with you. We're going to work on some fun stuff today and also review some stuff that you should know, but we'll just make sure that everyone's on top of the things that we are working on. So, really enjoyed that huge class with you last week. This week, we're going to split that into two classes. So junior black belts will have their own class on Thursday at 6 o'clock, and then the teens and adults will have their own class at 7 p.m. So we can spend a little bit more time working on your own material. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll review some of that today so that the people who weren't able to join us can catch some of that kicking up, and also the people who were there can get better at it. So thanks very much, and look forward to kicking with you really soon after our warm-ups and stretches. Thank you. For our warm-ups today, we're going to do 3 different animal movements 3 different ways to help us warm up our whole bodies and also learn balance. So we'll do 3 movements: 1, activation; 2, balance; and then 3, movement. So let's start with one that we all know, bear crawl. So let's start with bear crawl. 2 hands and 2 feet on the ground. You can see I've got my knees on the ground. Bears don't walk with their knees on the ground, so what we're going to do is just have our knees up. Okay, so everyone just feel what that's like. Just hold yourself parallel off the deck like this, okay? So, to be able to move, we have to be able to balance. So, let's pick up one leg in the back. Good. Pick up the other leg in the back. And then pick up one hand in the front. And pick up the other hand in the front. And now, pick up opposite hand and foot. So, left hand, right foot, and then the opposite. There we go. Because that's how we're going to be walking, okay? So if you have space, let's try walking forward, timing our hands and feet together, walking backwards. So same hand on the same side as the foot that's moving, okay? If you don't have space to do that, then you can just practice 1, 2, 1, 2. That's opposite hand foot, okay? So bear crawl. So practice those. If you have space, go across the room and back, across the room and back. So let's do 5 times each way. Try to get about 10 steps in, forward and back. So 5 forward, 5 back. All right, so hope you did well on bear crawl. So now we'll do crab. It's another one that most of us know. So again, make sure that you have stable. Scoot your way forward and back so you can feel when you're in the middle there. All right, so let's pick up one foot. There we go. Pick up the other foot. Pick up one hand. Pick up the opposite hand. All right, and now pick up opposite hand and foot. So left foot, right hand, balancing on 2. Good job. The other side, pick up the other side, and this hand, balancing on 2. Okay, so the way we're going to walk with this is hands, feet, hand and foot on the same side, hand and foot on the same side. And then forward, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot. So I think you all know how to do this one. So just scoot and coordinate your hands and feet together on that. Okay, so crab walk. So use the same space that you use for a bear crawl to do upside down bear crawl or crab walk. So try that 5 times each way. Come back and we'll do one more. Okay, so our last one today is ape. So what we're going to do on this one is feet really wide, hands up and back, okay? If you can get down really low, great. Okay, try to sit all the way so that the backs of your legs are on your calves and hands way up high like a big ape, okay? All right, so try rocking to one side, rock to the other side, sink your weight down further. Rock to one side, rock to the other side, sink your weight down further. Good job. So now to move with this, what we'll do is put both hands outside and then both feet. So hands first, then feet. Hands first, then feet, okay? So use the same space that you had for your bear crawl and your crab walk to do the ape across sideways. So lateral movement this way, lateral movement this way. Use as much space as you have. Otherwise, just do one way and one the other way. Good. So in these lessons, I keep talking about the daily dozen, and I've even told you about the Grand Master who created these so many years ago. But some of you don't know what all the daily dozen are. So I'll show you all 12, but I'm going to recommend you probably only do 11 of them. So we'll show you why you probably don't want to do number 10. So let's begin with number 1, and I'll give you a little mnemonic to help you try to remember each one. So number 1 is one leg out in the front, body up straight, and leaning forward, chest out towards your foot. Right? So do not worry if you cannot reach your foot with one hand or two hands. Just do your best to lean forward and stretch your leg. Right? And then, of course, the other side as well. So anything you do on one side, we want to try to do on the other side as well. Okay, so lean forward. This is easy for you. Pick your heel up off the ground or put your other leg on the top. Make it a little better. I'll show you lots of alternative ways to do these stretches another day. But let's just quickly go through all of them. Number 2 is 2 feet in the front. So that's an easy way to remember that. 2 feet in the front, same thing. Leaning forward, back straight, up tall, and reach forward. All right. Number 3. Again, lots of ways you can do this, but 1, 2, 3 is how we remember it. Okay, 3. So lean far forward, grab your feet if you can, put your chest on the floor if you can, but don't try to arch your back and put your head down on the floor. So number 4 is making a table with your tummy. So get your belt way up high in the air and stretch your shoulders a little bit. And then number 5, a couple of different ways you can do this. One leg out in the front, one leg crossed over the top, and then reach on the outside to make sure your body's up really, really tall. You can push with the other hand to get your upper body straight, and then look around behind you. And other side. And one of the ways you can make this a little bit more interesting is bend your other leg as well like this and come on the outside of this. Again, push yourself up straight and come looking behind you on this one. Okay, next one is stretch number 6. So number 6 is trying to make a 6 with your body, looking up at the ceiling like a seal. All right, and then number 7 is making 7s with your knees and looking up, making an arch your back. All right, number 8. So number 6 and 7 are on your tummy, and number 7 and 8 are on your back. I'm sorry, number 8 and 9 are on your back. So number 8 is arms out to the side, legs straight up in the air, and just tick-tock like a clock. So working your trunk muscles, keep your feet together, don't quite let them touch the floor, and lift them back up again. All right, and then number 9 is again on your back. And be very, very careful with your neck. Keep the weight on the top of your shoulders. Bring your legs up and straight back behind you. You can see that my head's entirely off the floor, so I'm not putting any pressure on my neck. Keep your legs as straight as they can and reach as far back as you can. All right, so number 10 is bridging. Now, I do not recommend you do this one if you cannot keep your head off the floor on the way down and on the way back up. So if either one of those makes you touch your head on the floor, I don't recommend this. But bridging means just bring your feet in tight, bring your hands so that your fingers are pointed back towards your shoulders by your ears, and bridge yourself up. All right, lots of ways to do stretch number 11. One way you can do it by yourself on the ground is just to have your knee on the ground and slide one leg out in front of you like this, and the other leg back. If this is really easy for you, then raise up your leg and put your leg all the way down on the ground like this. Also, you can lean forward over it to make it even more exciting. So make sure you have all sides of your body. Whoops, my mat is not cooperating, so other side. Stretch number 11
one way to think of it is, it's a little bit like stretch number 1, but with a little bit more body weight helping me to stretch more. So, I'm jammed up against this wall. Oh, knees forward. Okay, and then stretch number 12 is in the middle, letting your feet slide out as far as you can. Keep your weight on your hands like this. So, those are our daily dozen, and go over these so that you can remember all of them. But again, be cautious with number 10. That is definitely not for everybody. Thank you. So remember last week we talked about how you could, with just 4 moves, create 256 combinations. Now, because a lot of those are starting from the back side, we don't want to necessarily do all of those 256, but we're going to do 3. So that's what we worked on in our live class, was doing 3 move combination. And instead of doing 27, all the possibilities, we'll just do 3 of them. So in other words, starting with a different kick each time. So those 3 kicks are side kick, round kick, and hook kick. So we started on the floor and then we went all the way to standing, but we'll just do an intermediate step this time, which is having something to hold on to, something to help you to balance. So let's begin with side, hook, and round. So thrusting straight out in a line, pull all the way back to the same side kick position, hook kick, and round kick. Okay? So try that. Side, hook, round. Okay? Side, hook, round. So they're hitting with 3 different weapons. One is with the bottom of the heel, one is with the back of the heel, and the other one, of course, is with the ball of the foot. And that could be top of the foot as well. So let's try on the outside of our body. So side, hook, round. So side kick, we pull all the way back. Hook kick comes as far back as we can possibly get it, which is exactly the right starting position for round kick, right? So side, hook, round. So try that combination. If you need to kneel down and do it from the ground, that'll give you more balance, more stability. And if you want to hold on to something, that'll help you get the right motion without worrying about your balance. And once you've got these really well, then you'll be able to put them together. Okay, so side, hook, round. Okay, so how about if we start with the round kick this time? So perhaps we could do round, side, hook. So starting from this side, then the center, and then the opposite side. Okay, so start from the outside. So this might be a lead leg advancing, round, in the middle, side, and hook. So try that. Round, side, hook. Round, side, hook. Again, do whichever way is safe for you. So this time we'll start with the hook. Start with the hook. And go hook, round, side. Right? So hook, round, side. Right? Try that on the other side. So hook, round, all the way in tight, side. So this doesn't actually put us in the next position for the kick necessarily between number 2 and number 3. Right? So hook does bring us all the way around to the round kick, but that does not bring us all the way in for the side kick. All right? So hook, round, side. So let's try that. So there's 3 combinations with just 3 kicks, each one starting with a different one. So you'd certainly keep your partner guessing.
In a previous lesson, I told you a little bit about Grand Master Hawkins and Mrs. Hawkins founding the Escondido School for us almost 50 years ago. And today, I have another important message from Grand Master Hawkins. These are the days you really get to use discipline and integrity. No one is there to remind you to practice. You must discipline yourself, and you must have the integrity to do your best. Black belt candidates especially will need to learn to appreciate the value of forms. Practicing forms on a regular basis maintains your endurance and power, as well as developing muscle memory. When the old masters went to the mountain, they practiced forms and communed with nature. Now is a good time to imitate the old masters. This question is for third-degree black belt and architect Doug Austin. So Mr. Austin, how do you fit a whole lot more pigs on a farm? Build a skyscraper.